All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, Shalom. This is Brother Yakanan from the GMS Houston camp, and hey, just continuing on asking Chat GPT about learned helplessness, and pretty much, this entire thread was, you know, I started off asking, what is this? And then, what is learned helplessness? And then from the responses that it gave me, precepts came to mind, and that's what I posted. And then sometimes, more precepts would come to mind. So it would, I would post that too before finishing reading, the original post. But, uh, just, I'm just going to continue. This is, I'm going to read this first, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10, because it's speaking of the state of our people, learned helplessness, that state of mind. Uh, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, neither be dismayed, O Israel. Because you reading through the scriptures, it don't take a whole lot, for Israel to become dismayed or to become, to fall apart. And that's due to their lack of faith. You not knowing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that he's in control of everything, and going based off of just what you see right in front of you, yeah, you're going to fall apart. And, but having a deeper understanding and fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you understand that he's in control of everything. And if he has you, or if he is on your side, if he is with you, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of other than him. So, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And wherever we've been scattered around the world, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to save us. And primarily this captivity here in Babylon the Great. The elect are going to be saved out of this land, before it's destroyed by the thermonuclear destruction. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest. So guess what? We're going to come back. The sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes. We're going to return to our land, and we're going to finally have rest. Let's look at that word for rest real quick. Just a H8252, shaquat. And it says to repose, to be quiet, to rest, to settle, be still, to be quiet, tranquil, to be at peace, be quiet, to rest, lie still, to be undisturbed. And that's a lot. That's a lot. Like tranquility, but let's look at that word then. Because you hear it a lot. And whenever you think of tranquil, you always think of some, a peaceful, lake or a pond or whatever like that, surrounded by trees. You think of a peaceful scenario or something calm and it's quiet. So this is tranquil. This is just a quick Google definition. It says free from disturbance, calm. What else comes to mind? A free from disturbance and calm, how the scriptures say, peace be still. Or when Yahushai, he quieted the waters, when there was a storm going on. So tranquil means very calm, peaceful, and quiet, describing the state or environment that is free from disturbance or agitation. So when our people, the Israelites, we will return to our land and we're at rest, it even says in Isaiah 14, the whole world is at peace, and the trees are going to break forth into singing. It's going to be very peaceful, which is not something that, in these bodies, in this lifetime, we are not used to. You Jakes, you live around highways and constantly busy streets and constant noise of cars and running machinery and all kinds of, noises that you really can't hear, like your modems, your routers, your TVs, the electronics. All that stuff is constantly making noise, but it's not a range that we can hear, that we can, really pick up with our ears, but we can perceive it. Our bodies pick it up. That's why you get fucking terrible sleep. All kinds of things. Your sleep is disturbed. You're constantly being agitated. You wake up, you in a bad mood, even though you slept, the recommended 8 hours, 6 hours, or whatever. You irritated, but in the time to come, it's gonna be a peace. You're gonna be able to relax. You're gonna be able to relax, kick your feet up, and then in the midst of that, you're not gonna be thinking, "Hey, I got work tomorrow. I gotta pay my bill." Damn, I need $50. So this is again, or just taking off from where I left off, Jeremiah 30 and verse 10. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So we ain't had to worry about no fucking Edomites rising up. We ain't had to worry about nothing. All that, it's a thing of the past. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Who is he with? Is he saying he's with the Edomites? Is he with the other nation? Is he with Elam? Or is he with Ammon? No, he's with the Israelites. He's with Jacob. He's with Israel. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, to save thee. Do I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee? Yet will I not make a full end of thee. So those other nations, this kingdom, especially the Edomite kingdom in rulership right now, they're gonna have it. They're gonna be done, ended. Ain't no other rulership gonna rise up. Like yesterday, there was a video going around of Xi Jinping, Putin, and is it Kim Jong Un? And they were, I guess they were translating it because I don't speak their language, but they were translating and saying like, we're going to live to 150 years. Our society, this, that, whatever is going to be great. But guess what? Hey, if you're going to live that long, you're just going to be the first ones going into slavery. You know what I mean? Your whole civilization, all that bullshit, trying to, be the next, superpowers or the next rulers of the world. Hey, that's a stupid dream. Because it ain't going to happen. So, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So, hey, guess what? Hey, we get punished. As part of our part of the covenant. We break the laws, statutes, commandments. We get punishment. Even though, hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is never gonna take his mercy away from us, we're still gonna, have to drink of this cup. In other words, it's verse 12. For thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. And why are you bruised? Why are you wounded? Because you've transgressed against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All of us have. All of us Israelites. The law, statutes, commandments, all this was not given to you other nations. Verse 13, there is none to plead thy cause that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. Hey, all the things that we going to the other nations, going to them for help, that learn helplessness, that hasn't helped at all. Verse 14, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, and with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. So again, at the top, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. So all those nations that that we went after, that we went a whoring after, they did nothing to help us. They didn't even care about us. They used us, abused us. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. So this is All this was because of our transgressions. Verse 15, why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. It's plain. It's because of our transgressions, all this has happened to us. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And part of that was, we would be given into the hand of our enemies. They would be the head, we would be the tail. We'd have to go to them for the want of all things. And they would do whatever they want with us. They have no no reverence for the old nor the young. They don't care. So therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. So what's that? That's Revelation 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So everybody that had their way with us, hey, now it's going to be their turn. They're going into captivity. They're going to be destroyed. And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. And this is beautiful because the idea, what came to mind as I was doing this, and Lord willing, I'll get to it if I even have it in the chat, was that this is used by our enemy, this learned helplessness. Our enemy Esau Edom, the so-called white man, uses, your weaknesses against you, like learned helplessness, so that you would depend on him. Even though he doesn't care, it's only to devour you. So, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Verse 17, and this was the point I wanted to get to. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. So we were cast out. We broke the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We're no longer Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's people. Hosea, the first chapter. And the Lord isn't watching us, because I also have what later in the chat thread, Judith, the 6th chapter, going into that. So while the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has his back turned to us, these other nations, they see that as an opportunity to take advantage of us. But that has a payback. There's a recompense for that. So they said, ain't nobody coming for Israel. Ain't nobody coming for Jacob. Let's do what we want to them. This is our opportunity. Let's get that birthright back. So that's pretty much all I'm going to read from that. I'm going to go to the chat GPT now. I can probably leave that open like that. But this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So there you have all kinds of imaginations against us. You have Esau Edom and his counsels. Psalms 83rd chapter trying to erase us completely from history so we can take the birthright back. We have our own people, especially since yesterday I left off. I mentioned the high priests, the scribes and Pharisees, the wicked of our people, which the high priest and being a scribe or a Pharisee doesn't make you wicked, but those wicked scribes and Pharisees, plotted to crucify Yahushua, our Lord, our King. So those people, we're going to be watching out for them. Not only our enemy that's outside of the nation, but the enemy that's within our nation that wants to remain in that state of learned helplessness. So don't fear those kind of imaginations. Those people that say like, oh, how I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. God loves everybody. Oh, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite no more. Stuff like that. Like, hey, fuck them people. They're going to die in their unfaithfulness. That's a blot on them. Who cares if they don't believe? Does that make the Most High a liar? No. says that is a strong precept to line up after Deuteronomy 31:6. It is the same spirit of reassurance, but this time with a sharp edge of judgment. Let's break it down. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. It says the key points: fear not the imaginations against thee. Just like in Deuteronomy 31:6, fear not nor be afraid of them. This is about rejecting intimidation. And this is Esau, Edom, our people, they're going to try to come hard with this intimidation. That type of, especially Esau, Edom. He has the weapons, he has the sword, he has the propaganda, he has the witchcraft, he has all this, that, whatever. But, it's already written that, this nigga's going into captivity. I already read that, the Israelites, the 2/3, their wounds are incurable. So what do you do with that? It's incurable. The best thing to do is to put them down. Like, remember I saw a video, see a lot of videos through, of course through Instagram or whatever like that. They had a dog. The dog couldn't walk. They got a dog in like a stroller kind of thing. They got the dog in a wheelchair. He got no leg, like his legs are all crippled. And they just got the dog rolling around in a wheelchair and they taking it for a walk. Like, bro, just let the dog go. That thing, like, just get the dog some mercy, man. That ain't mercy letting the thing hang up, feet all dangling. He can't even walk himself. You got to drag him around. This is the state of the 2/3. You just crippled. You done. You need the mercy. You need mercy. You need to be put out of your misery. So, Slakia, the imaginations equals the schemes, lies, threats, and mocking words of the enemy. And you see that with Esau, Edom. He's that's his thing, his tongue. That's a weapon too. He's a master at talking shit. Our people, shit talkers. In every captivity, Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome, Israel has been told, you're nothing, you're powerless. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai says, do not fear their imaginations. Right, I had another one, but I'm not going to go to it. It says, like, bow down thy soul that we may pass over. They walk all over us. It says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Incredulity means unbelief, refusal to accept the truth. The world scoffs at prophecy, scoffs at Israel's identity, scoffs at judgment, but the command is do not or don't let their unbelief shake your faith. Right. But the world can't see it. The world can't receive Yahweh Shai. This answers the same problem in Numbers 13 when the evil report of the spies infected the congregation. 2nd Ezra says, ignore the evil report. Y'all ain't no Hebrew Israelites. This is why I'm not a Hebrew Israelite no more. They didn't give turkey sandwiches out on Thursdays. For all the unfaithful, or number 3, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. It says this is a sobering contrast. Those who refuse to believe, who cling to Egypt, Rome, or Babylon, will perish in that condition. So you staying in this place, you believe in this place, well, this place is your tomb. This lines up with Jeremiah 2, thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and John 19, we have no king but Caesar. Choosing unbelief leads to death. And that second death is coming. It's close. Connection to learn helplessness. Learn helplessness breeds unbelief. We can't win. We're grasshoppers. We might as well give up. Right, that weak mindset. 2nd Ezra 15 says, don't let that unbelief trouble you. Don't inherit their defeated mindset. Right, you gotta check the thoughts, everything that's coming into your mind. Examining yourself daily, whether you be in the faith. And if you have a thought come in, man, we ain't never gonna win. We grasshoppers. Look at how the nations are. You need to rebuke that. Rebuke it sharply. Get that shit out of there. Because that will take root. That'll start destroying shit. Instead, stand firm in faith, because the unfaithful will be cut off anyway. Right. Our people, the 2/3, the unfaithful of our people, they're gonna be cut off. Prophetic layer. This passage is directly in time, in tone. Ooh, that's beautiful. So this is the last time. This is where we need the faith. This is where you need everything to take in everything from the scriptures, everything in history that's happened up until this point. What's the main things that you need to take in? Believing in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that he can deliver you, that Yahushai can deliver you, that is his name. He delivers. He saves. This passage is directly in time and tone. It's telling the faithful remnant, don't fear their threats. Don't let their unbelief infect you. Stay strong, because Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai's word, will come to pass, and judgment will wipe away the unfaithful. Right. So when you place Deuteronomy 31:6 and 2 Ezra 15:3-4 together, you get a complete picture. Deuteronomy, be strong and courageous, because Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, is with you. 2 Ezra, ignore the unbelief and threats, because their end is destruction. So either if Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is with you, you good. If he's not with you, you're going to be destroyed. And you need a particular mindset for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai to be with you, because he ain't with the unfaithful. So, and that's all I'm gonna read from this. I gotta get to the J. Hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.